Hello everyone, welcome again. Today, the lesson which we are going to revise is the Lost Spring, Class 12th. Before you listen, I would request my students to kindly subscribe the channel because I will be uploading more and more lessons related to this book, and you will be getting notified. This lesson is written by Anis Jung. First of all, introduction of the lesson. So, what happens? As we all know, spring is the season associated with optimism and hope. It also works as a metaphor for the childhood stage of our life. Right from the time we are born until late childhood, each child hopes for new beginnings and a bright future. We all are full of dreams during our childhood. The phase of childhood is all about innocence, energy, and tremendous inclination towards outdoor activities, along with fun and play. And playtime does not have any limits. It is also a time of getting skills and knowledge and going to school as well. The Lost Spring, written by Anis Jung, talks about the national shame of children being forced to live a life of poverty and exploitation. The main two protagonists of the chapter, Sahibe Alam and Mukesh, don't live their childhood as they have to carry the burden of poverty and illiteracy. In their miserable stories of exploitation, the author provides glimpses of fortitude and resilience. The story, Lost Spring, deals with the deplorable condition of poor children who get forced to mix the simple, joyful moments of childhood because of their socio-economic conditions. These children are not given the opportunity of schooling and are compelled to start working early in their lives. The author strives hard to eliminate child labor through her book. She propagates the education of children and enforcement of strict laws against child labor by the government of India. The message is to put an end to child exploitation and let all children enjoy their days of spring and joy. Now we'll see the characters. There are two main characters in this lesson. First one is Sahibe Alam, who is a rag picker. Second one is Mukesh, who is the son of a bangle maker. Now comes the summary. The lesson is divided into two parts. First is sometimes I find a rupee in the garbage. This is related to rag picking. The first part talks about the writer's impressions about the life of the unfortunate rag pickers. The rag pickers who have migrated from Dhaka and find a settlement in Simapuri. Simapuri is near Ghaziabad. They end up losing their fields and homes due to storms in Bangladesh. Because of that, in search of livelihood, they have come to India and settled illegally here. Then they came to the big city to find a living, but they are poor because they are not well educated. The author then watches Sahib, the rag picker, every morning who is always scrounging for gold in her neighborhood. Garbage is actually the means of survival for such families. This is a mean of survival for the elders, and it is something wrapped in wonder for the children because while picking garbage, they come across some exciting things. Sometimes a broken toy, sometimes a torn shoe, a pair of torn shoes. Those things become a kind of delight to them. And sometimes they also find a coin or two from it. Even these kids have desire and ambitions, but they have no clue about how to achieve what they are wishing for. There are many things that are unreachable to them. For instance, shoes, tennis, and similar stuff. Later on, Sahib starts working at a tea stall where he earns 800 rupees and also gets to eat all the meals. But the job takes away his freedom and he doesn't like doing that work because what according to Sahib, rag picking was the job of his choice. Whenever he wished, He did the work, and when he didn't, he did. But at the tea stall, he was compelled to work. Now comes the second part of the lesson. It is, I want to drive a car. The second part is about the life of Mukesh, who comes from the family of bangle makers. Firozabad is quite popular for this. It's a glass blowing industry. A staggering 20,000 children are a part of this business, and any law that forbids child labor is brutally ignored here. Also, the working environment and the living condition are pathetic. Children live in dingy cells and work around hot furnaces that make them blind when they enter their adulthood. Since they are weighed down by debt, they cannot think or find any way to escape this trap. Not only this, the policemen, politicians, and the middlemen and bureaucrats as well obstruct their way of progress. Most women in such families think that this is their fate and just follow the tradition. But Mukesh is different from his background. From the rest of his folks, Mukesh is different. He has dreams of becoming a motor mechanic. The garage is quite far from his house, but he shall walk. He has decided. Now, quickly, we'll see the summary of this lesson in points. So, first part, sometimes I find a rupee in the garage, in the garbage. The author here is analyzing the poor condition and traditions that push children to live a life of exploitation. They are also denied education and face hardships quite early in their lives. This is the first point. Second point given in the lesson is the writer comes across Sahib, a rag picker, whose parents have left Dhaka and their life of poverty to earn a living in Delhi, and they are here also not successful enough. Just like many other families, even his family lives in Simapuri. They don't own any other identification other than a ration card. These children can't afford to go to school but get excited when they find a coin or even a 10 rupee note while rummaging a garbage. This is their only way of earning. The writer feels awful to see Sahib, a rag picker whose name also means the ruler of the earth. But the poor child has lost his childhood and roams barefooted with his friends. His work is completely opposite to his name. Sahib-e-Alam means ruler of the earth, but what he does is exactly opposite to that. Right from morning to afternoon, the author comes across him in a tea stall. Sahib becomes sad as he realizes that he is no longer the master of his own destiny, and the loss of identity weighs heavily on his tender shoulders because now he is bound to work on time. Then comes the second part. I want to drive a car. The author sheds light on another victim of child labor, that is Mukesh, who dreams of becoming a motor mechanic. But the child has always worked in the glass making industry, and apart from that, he or his family members do not know anything else to do. They get exposed to many health hazards such as losing their eyesight as they work in appalling conditions in dark and dingy cells. Mukesh's father is blind, and even his father and grandfather means Mukesh's father and grandfather both are blind. So the bangle makers of Firozabad are so burdened that they have stopped dreaming, unlike Mukesh, who wants to drive a car. Thank you everyone for watching. In case you have any doubt,